Share via email. Report story. This is bad, really bad. Nami was panicking, walking in circles on the beach, trying to figure something out. Finding us is out of the question. They can't even avoid getting lost on this sea. They're, actually, in a lot more danger than the two of us. Luffy, we have to. She stopped when the raven-haired boy dragged her into a hug. Luffy. What are you doing? You're stressed out. I don't know why, but I'm getting the feeling that hugging you would make you feel better. So that's what I'm doing. I really appreciate the gesture and it does make me feel better, but, she stopped. She didn't want that moment to end. But it won't help the situation we're in. Nami, we can manage. We have food and water. And regarding the others, have a little more faith, will you? Luffy spoke on a calming voice while hugging Nami even closer, thing that really made her feel better. They'll be fine and I'm sure that they'll find a way. The orange-haired girl took a deep breath and nodded after Luffy let go of her. Is something the matter, Luffy? Nami asked when her captain seemed to think about something. Is it bad that I don't want to let go of you when I hold you? He suddenly asked, out of nowhere, leaving Nami speechless. What's all this about? Where did this come from? Does he really feel the same way I do? How the heck am I supposed to interpret this? I don't know, she finally said, startling. Ooh, it must be because of that too. What is that supposed to mean? Nami has never in her life been more confused. A thing after another, it doesn't matter. Now, let's eat, Luffy yelled while peeling off the skin from the huge animal to get to the meat. Wait a second. Don't eat it like that. Nami thought she should just forget what happened as it would be a waste of mental energy to try and figure out what her captain was thinking. Why not? Just wait a little, will you? I'll cook it or you, really, what's so surprising? It's not like I'm gonna eat raw meat until the others find us. Carrot, carrot, carrot. One night has passed and all we can do is stay right here and wait. We've gotta figure something out. Who knows where they might be? Brooke said with a concerned voice. Wherever they are, they can handle their situation, Zoro started. That, of course, assuming they aren't dead. But what we have to do is focus on searching for them. Zoro, how can you even say that? Why are you so cold-hearted? It's not that I don't care. He was now pissed. But, you tell me, what good would it make constantly thinking about them and panicking? Our job here is to work something out and keep your idea, Marimo. Right now, we've got to deal with that. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Meat, 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 meat. Luffy was walking in circles around the fire they made on the beach and couldn't wait to eat. He was really excited to eat Nami's food again, so there wasn't any way he would just stay put. Promoted stories. You'll also like The Cursed Pirate 1 page. 10K180 asterisk. Asterisk. My story began when I was a young and naive, but that day, when everything seemed normal, that was the day, when everything. The Flower Girl, Xerox Reader, 4.2K198. This is the story of a girl called Himawari Yumi. At a young age, her village was destroyed by the Navy. All the people, including her parents, got killed because they Warm memories and brotherly bonds 497K10.2 kin. The middle of some strange ruins, Luffy disappeared. As the rest of the Straw Hats try to find him, they end up traveling through his memories and are trapped in the Luffy's Jealousy 73.2K 1.5K pairings. Luffy x Nami. What if the infamous Mugiwara crew docked on an unknown island? What if Nami had forgot? Rewriting. The Nakama from Another World, 95,830 and quat. I just wanted to sleep, not get reincarnated into One Piece. End quat. YN awakens in a world he once thought was fiction. The world of One Piece. Reborn as a baby, One Piece. The ultimate Strafuts.2710 martial artists, real not those wuxia types, reincarnates in One Piece, but all his memories about the show get erased due to his impertinence. But this isn't the same. What's your choice going to be? Zoro x Tash, 45,237, with Tashigi getting left behind by the G5 due to the Joker sending too many ships for the G5 and the Strafuts to handle. They have to figure out a escape to get to TH. Can you be a little bit more quiet? The orange-haired girl tried to sound serious, but truth be told, she enjoyed seeing her captain like that. The raven-haired boy looked at his navigator and frowned a little. He could tell by her face that she wasn't feeling better at all and that she was still constantly being haunted by horrible thoughts regarding their friends. All he wanted was to see her smile. That beautiful smile he loved so much. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Keep your idea, Marimo. Right now we've gotta deal with that. Zoro looked the way Sanji was pointing. Wait a second there, Usopp said while looking better at the ship that wasn't too far from them now. Isn't that? Carrot, carrot, carrot. Who would be as insolent as to leave a cat in my way? The tall, raven-haired woman stepped on the deck with the same intimidating aura she always had. What is it that I had to come out of my room? Yes, Snake Princess. We just found Luffy's ship. Luffy. Hancock leaned over the railings, looking towards the Straw Hat's ship, her heart pounding in excitement. It's been too long, my love. It's only been a few weeks, one of the crew whispered. A day felt like a year, though. Let's go, Snake Princess. Margaret bowed in front of her queen. I speak for all of us. We are so grateful that you agreed to take us with you. It's fine. I understand you, too, wanted to see him. Hancock was so understanding when it came to Luffy that it was so convenient for the three, Margaret, Sweet Pea and Aphalandra, who were some of the closest from Amazon Lily to Luffy. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Isn't that the Kuja pirate's ship? Now that I look better, you're right, Usopp, oi. Didn't Luffy say he and that Hancock were friends? That Hancock? Frankie, that woman is the most beautiful one in the whole world, Sanji said with heart-shaped eyes. That really doesn't matter right now. They can help us find Luffy and Nami. And it also looks like they're coming this way. We might be lucky this time. Carrot, carrot, carrot. There you go, Luffy. Sorry it took so long, but this animal's huge. Also, don't expect it to be too tasty as I don't have any condiments. I was just about to eat raw meat. Don't think I'm too picky. Luffy grinned before taking a big bite of his portion. Nami just nodded and started eating too while thinking of the rest of the crew. Even though what Luffy told her made her calm down a bit, she couldn't help but be worried. Luffy felt, too, just the same way as his navigator, only he didn't show it, knowing that this way, Nami would feel better. Carrot, carrot, carrot. What do you mean? Luffy's not here. You don't seem to have heard the rest of the story, do you? Frankie's sweat dropped. Oi, he then said, catching Hancock's attention. During a huge storm, Luffy fell into the water and the currents carried him away before we could reach him. What? Hancock gasped. Then why didn't you start by telling me that? She then angrily shouted. I did tell you, but you denied listening to whatever I had to say after you heard that Luffy isn't here. Now, would you mind turning them back to how they were? Robin said, pointing at Brooks and Sanji's stone statues. But if he fell into the water, it means he has already drowned. I will never forgive you, Straw Hats, for letting him die. The raven-haired woman said, completely ignoring what she's been told. He didn't drown. Calm down, hysterical woman. Zoro was already done with her shit. Nami was the first one to notice that Luffy fell, so she jumped after him. She might not be strong, but she can swim well enough to prevent them from drowning. Nami. Hancock's face was full of anger. She knew that name very well. Nami. Yes, I know her. Luffy always spoke of her. She looked like a psychopath while talking about the orange-haired girl. She really hated poor Nami without even meeting her. Now that I think of it, he mentioned you all every time I visited him. You must be Zoro. She pointed at the green-haired swordsman. And you are Chopper. Ah, you're even cuter than Luffy has led me to believe. You bastard. This doesn't make me happy at all, Chopper said smiling. Then those two are Sanji and Brook, no doubt about it, she continued while looking at the two statues. And you're Frankie, Robin and Usopp. Yeah, he told me so much about you all that I feel like I've known you for a life, but, her eyes were now soaking in anger. He mentioned her in particular. Oi, this really doesn't matter. Are you going to help us find them or not? But of course. I'll never turn my back when my dear Luffy's in danger. Well, this is my crew, she finally introduced her followers. Feel free to know each other. I'm going to look up the surrounding islands. And with that, she turned her back and went to her room. Carrot, carrot, carrot. I'm stuffed. Luffy grinned while tapping his belly. This monster meat is so good. Thank you, Nami, Luffy. Nami looked a little pissed and somehow gloomy. The situation they were in really worried her and she, despite what Luffy told her, couldn't stop imagining horrible things that might happen to her crewmates. Why are you so carefree? You were always horrible at reading the situation, but this is really too much. She yelled without wanting. The thing that bothered her the most was that she couldn't tell what was going on in that head of his. You laugh and act like nothing happened. I already told you my opinion. You not having faith in me and the others is your choice. From here on, there's nothing I can do, Luffy bluntly spoke with a cold expression on his face. He knew that his attitude would only make the orange-haired girl angrier, and it hurt him speaking like that to her. He knew she was going to be pissed at him big time. He didn't want to, but he knew he was right and she had to understand that. They've all been in even worse situations before and all of them managed it, every time, but Nami seemed to forget that. He had to remind her there was no way to ease her mind and soul. What the hell is going on with you? She stood up, 10 times angrier this time. Do you not care in the least bit about them? She started walking away. Nami, come back here. No. She was now in the seawater and sat down so the water would reach her chin. This way, Luffy wouldn't be able to stretch and grab her. Nami, I'm not moving from here. Luffy, acting pissed, turned around and walked in the forest. It's alright. This way she'll have time to think and she'll come to realize I'm right. She'll feel better after that, he said to himself while walking away. Anyway, things weren't so easy. Their hearts both ached unbelievably bad. It felt like a huge rock was placed on their chest, so it's been so hard for her to turn her back to him and for him to just leave like that. After a few minutes of silence, Nami finally, slowly turned around and sighed, relieved when she realized she was alone. She went back to the shore and laid down on the sand so her clothes would dry. She just stood there for some time, watching the hypnotic image of the two shades of blue colliding at the horizon and listening to the sound of the waves calmly reaching the shore then go back into the water, like the sand was too hot. She loved that view more than anything, so the hours that passed only felt like a minute. When she finally got her head out of the clouds, back on the ground and snapped herself away from that breathtaking image, she finally realized the sun was already setting. Geez, what's wrong with him, acting like that? And what was all that? Not having faith in him and the other shit. How could he even think like that? Her mind was now clear and her anger just disappeared, so she was now able to look at what happened from a different view. Even so, that horrible feeling she had after fighting with Luffy never eased her chest. Anyway, it looks like I'm the only one who cares what happens to our crewmates. At that very last thought, Nami froze. Flashbacks of what happened at Arlong Park and Eni's lobby popped into her mind. She knew very well that her captain would lay down his life for any of his crewmates at any hour of the day. He challenged the monster of East Blue without hesitation for her and even declared war on the world government when they took Robin away, and on top of all that, they all made it out safely from every dangerous situation. God damn it, they've been sent to different corners of the world and they still found their way back to each other. What am I thinking? She stood up, even though she had nowhere to go. How is it that I forgot these things? We are the Straw Hats and our captain is the future Pirate King. There's no way a situation like this would put an end to our journey. And Luffy, I'm sure he's worried too, but he probably doesn't want to show it for my sake. I've really got to apologize to him. The rock that was pressing against her chest got even bigger when she realized how wrong she was. It really hurt her treating Luffy like that, and now that she knew she did it for no reason, it felt worse. Carrot carrot carrot. Shishishi. This one'll do for dinner. Luffy grinned while carrying the huge animal. Aw man, I hope she isn't mad anymore. I wanna see her sooner already. I really hate this feeling, he said while placing a hand on his chest. It's the first time I had a fight like this with Nami and it hurts a lot more than I expected, he then pouted. Because he was walking faster and faster, he didn't even realize how fast he reached the shore, where Nami was waiting, facing to the forest. As she had her back to the setting sun, her face was darkened so Luffy couldn't tell how she felt, but his heart skipped a beat when hearing her soft voice. Luffy, I'm so sorry. He was fighting the impulse to hug her with all his being. I'm so sorry I yelled at you and told you all those things. You really were right. I was selfish and denied to listen to you and I really regret it now. The raven-haired boy grinned when hearing those words, thinking that him feeling so crappy for the whole afternoon was worth making her smile. Only that she wasn't smiling. His heart broke into pieces when he saw a tear roll down her cheek, followed by another one and another one. Luffy stretched his arms and brought Nami to his chest, holding her tighter than never. That was when she broke down and cried for good. You held everything in and even told me those things just to help me, and I threw those bitter words at you without thinking for a second. I really am sorry. I know that, Luffy said while placing a kiss on her head and wrapping his hands around her even tighter. But I don't mind at all I wanted was to see you at ease. His words made Nami's heart start beating crazy like. She had also stopped crying and her lips formed into the thing that Luffy hoped to see the whole day. I'm so glad, you're finally smiling. Where stories live. Discover now.